Dear Hollywood, stop it. Stop it right now. Hey everybody, my name of course is Crunchy, and welcome to my little domain again. So today we're going to be talking about something completely different and off the wall. I want to talk about Hollywood, particularly the movies and everything that has been through. Okay, just real quick. Hollywood, just stop it, okay? Just hold up and wait. Because what you are doing is literally the worst thing ever. When it comes to Hollywood, typically they're going to do the whole bandwagon thing. They're going to create more stories to try to bandwagon off a previous story that had come out. A good answer to this would be a movie that doesn't require a sequel, but it got one anyway. Most horror movies do this, like Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th. I mean, they've made like 20 of those movies. So, I know that's an exaggeration, but why though? When you do the oversaturation, there comes a point where you start to become more of a series and not as respected and highly regarded than as if you were a standalone movie. There are a few movies like this. One other example is Jurassic Park. That had, they came out with one movie in the 80s. It was beautiful. Everyone liked it. I even liked it. I thought it was good. I've seen it. The second one, okay. Not as good. Okay. Third one, what on earth are you planning with this? Jason X is an example of the Friday the 13th movies going completely awful. So, there are a few movies like that, and granted, it should be expected. When it's popular, people want more of it, so they make more of it. It's the supply and demand. But here's when I think they should start just realizing that what they are doing is probably one of the worst few things that they could, do. Checking. Waiting for a message. Anyway. So, when it comes to a movie, when a new story comes into play, for horror movies, there's very few leanways you can turn to. You could, essentially, because they came out first, I'm going to use them as examples. When it comes to Friday the 13th and Paranormal Activity, this is the paranormal stories and the slasher stories. These two stories are the most popular Hollywood versions of horror movies. Slasher movies, I Know What You Did Last Summer, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Saw movies, then you get awful ones like The Human Centipede, which is... And you get movies like Paranormal Activity, The Conjuring, and Insidious. Now, Insidious was good, because it wasn't a haunted house. And it wasn't like, move out of the house, just go! It was more along the lines of haunting. There was also The Haunting in Connecticut, which not that many people saw, probably. It was pretty good. There are very few horror movies that I've seen and liked. Now, there's a reason I like Silent Hill. Silent Hill was a new story all across the board. It's a version of the film I haven't seen before. Because, the Silent Hill video games were different, and it has a cool story to it. While the movies were terrible, keep in mind, they tried. Even the second one was just... To come down to it, what is Hollywood supposed to do with horror movies? Crunchy, you ask? Well, here's what they can do. Try to be different. Strive to be different. If you're coming out with a slasher movie, make it different. Don't make it a bunch of morons going to unclearly haunted place where they get killed. It's not what? A lot of these slasher films don't do greatly. I mean, Friday the 13th movies and Nightmare on Elm Street, they do great. But what? Come on now. Why is everyone in these horror movies a moron? If I were in... Now, I know this is played off and everyone says it, but if I were in Nightmare on Elm Street, well, Friday the 13th, we'll use that one, because it was made more. If I was in Friday the 13th, and my friends invited me to Camp Crystal Lake, and I got on the bus, and they were like, did you hear about the haunting of the story of Jason Voorhees? I'm pulling the emergency exit, and I'm leaving. I don't care if all my friends die, because A, I don't have that many friends in real life anyway, so, and the few friends I do have aren't dumb enough to go to Camp Crystal Lake. So, yay! The point being is, you do the slasher movie and you're like, okay, everyone who dies is a moron. Okay? What else? Well, there's a whore, there's a jock, there's a smart character, and there's a virgin. 3 of them die, 1 of them lives. Fantastic. I'm so glad movies like that exist. Sarcasm in my voice. So A, don't have morons. B, if you're going to have to have a reason or an unknown factor to it. Okay? Look at Insidious. The story of Insidious is that the boy himself is haunted. You would have to watch the movie, but in short, the boy is haunted. So no matter how many times they move, the boy is haunted. Not the house. So them moving to a different location and them having a haunted son would make sense, but they wouldn't know that. They wouldn't know. When someone blatantly knows that there's a possible consequence to where they are going or where they are staying or living, you have to be a giant moron to not see where I'm coming from. So, horror movies and horror movie writers, try to be original, and if somehow you guys see this, please take into consideration the very few things that I've said. Don't add morons and add an unknown factor. Horror movies are great, especially when you can add the suspense to it. Like, what is happening? Why is it happening? I mean, I don't get the appeal of just watching Jason run around cutting people up. It's like, what's happening? Oh, he's just cutting people up. Who's going to live? The virgin. Sorry for all I just essentially spoiled every single Friday the 13th movie ever. Excluding Freddy vs. Jason. That was a different beast altogether. You guys can watch that if you want. Watch whatever you want. I'm just saying, keep in mind the very few things that I've said. So anyway, thank you everybody so much for watching and listening to my rambles. Remember, if you like what you saw, hit that like button. If you want to see more of my face in any videos that I have done, hit that subscribe button, and remember,